paying for it, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We got to get into it. Let's go. The Denver Nuggets, they lose to the Detroit Pistons. They try to get down to the wire and see if they can make one of their patented epic comebacks. But the problem is you play trash for 3 quarters, you're going to find yourself in the bind they found themselves into. Now they lose back-to-back games. This one 124 to 121, and the Denver Nuggets lose yet another clutch game to the Detroit Pistons. It just wasn't good enough throughout the game. It's as simple as this, man. The Nuggets are going to have to come out with better effort, and they're going to have to come out with more purpose, because what's happening right now is people can say it's because the trade deadline and the All-Star break are right around the corner. The Nuggets they're tired. They need breaks. That's all cool. The lineups are terrible. The starting lineup of Jamal Murray, Jalen Pickett, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Nikola Jokic is trash. Jalen Pickett isn't doing anything right now. It's not a shot at him. He's not playing well. He doesn't need to be starting at the 2-guard position. They were starting Spencer Jones last game. That didn't work. They started Spencer Jones with that lineup and Jalen Pickett versus the Clippers. That lineup didn't work, and it didn't work again today. Christian Brown obviously still coming back. He was 2 of 6 from the field, took 1 3 today. His defense was good with Peyton Watson down the stretch, but he obviously is still rusty. They're still figuring that stuff out. He's not yet going to be himself. He played 25 minutes, gave great effort. Can't really say much about it. Peyton Watson was a +9 today. He had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 steals and 3 blocks. He also had 3 turnovers, had a very bad turnover at one point in time in this game, had a shot that wasn't great in the fourth quarter that would lead out to a run-out 3 for the Detroit Pistons, but he played phenomenal in the fourth quarter. He was 4 of 11 from the field, but he got to the free throw line 11 times. He kept getting pressure on the rim. But again, missed 2 free throws. The Nuggets are in a situation where they could have been a lot closer towards the end of the game, but he missed a couple free throws in this game. Tim Hardaway Jr. missed a free throw. Jonas Valanciunas missed 2 free throws, but the Nuggets got to the line a lot. Jamal Murray got 13 free throws today. Now, the thing that I actually have, Jokic wasn't great today. He had 5 turnovers this game, 6 turnovers versus the Thunder. He's turning the ball over a lot, and he only had 4 assists today. He's still getting his sea legs back. That's clear. And the turnovers at the end of the second half were really bad. That put them down 19 at the half. It was 69 to 50. Jokic, I think, it's no exterior thing. It's up here. He just wasn't passing the ball the way he needed to. But I will say Jokic was getting fouled multiple times. I counted at least 4 separate drives and layup attempts, which he had clearly gotten contact, and there was no foul. David Adams got 1 tech today. If he could have got 2 or 3, he would have, because that's how bad it was. The Nuggets, y'all, they shot 43 free throws, and they should have been in the 50s. That's how aggressive and overbearing Detroit was defensively. And it's not like they were playing good defense. The Nuggets were scoring. The issue is that every single time Jokic got the ball in the interior, he was getting contact. Did he have 3 free throws? But Peyton Watson, perimeter player, Jamal Murray, perimeter player, they combined for 24 free throws today. But your bigs combined for 8, and Jokic in particular 3 in 32 minutes and 55 seconds played a basketball today. It just wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. They should have gotten him to the line a lot more. And again, Jokic, when he doesn't over-exaggerate foul calls, apparently this is what happens and you don't get those calls, but he absolutely should have gotten them. But Jamal Murray, who did not play well for the start of this game, was exceptional in the second half. He had 32 points and 8 rebounds and 8 assists and 1 rebound with 2 blocks. He was a +5 tonight. He played really well, man, down the stretch of the game. Shout out to him. He played phenomenal. Tim Hardaway Jr. in a little bit of a slump. He was only 1 of 4 from 3. 1 of 7 from the field for Tim Hardaway Jr. Again, those early missed threes. They started the game off 0 of 7 from 3, and I think they were 2 of 13 from 3 to start the game off today. And that really had a lot to do with why the score looked the way it looked, because, again, what was happening is, Jokic was being very passive in the first half, as in allowing for everybody to do what they need to do. The 3-point shots were there, creating the looks, but they weren't hitting them. And then Jonas Valanciunas off the bench, he was a +16. They played that Jonas Valanciunas, Jokic double big lineup down the stretch of the game, and so that really ended up being effective today versus Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. He was a +11 or +16 with 11 points and 11 rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds. And he also had 3 blocks and a steal. He had 4 stocks today. Again, Jonas's rim protection this year continues to be one of the standout stories of the season. The Nuggets, y'all, are the best 3-point shooting team in the league. The best 3-point shooting team in the league. They shot 33% from 3, 10 of 30. And a lot of open looks today. A lot of open looks. Their offense, they eventually had to resort to just creating contact as much as possible. And the reason they had 43 free throws is because literally they couldn't stop fouling. They couldn't stop fouling. And Cade Cunningham had 5 fouls today. They just could not stop fouling the entire game. On the other side with the Pistons, Cade Cunningham had 29 points and 10 assists today. Thought he played well today. He was a plus 11. He had some really good minutes, especially in the first half and in the third quarter. Fourth quarter wasn't as good today. He got a late minute foul on Jamal Murray that put him at the free throw line, but Jamal had to intentionally miss the last one, so that's why he went 12 of 13. He would have went 13 of 13 if he needed to today, but they just, again, weren't in the situation. They tried to get the tip out. It didn't work out. But it's just real simple stuff, man. Like the Nuggets, they're just playing disengaged defensively, and they're trying to wait until the very last minute of the game to start playing defense and to start doing the things they need to do. It's just real simple, man. Like they have to play better. They have to start games better. And then that's the other part too. They have to play better in these games. And to this point, they had too many second chances, just tip outs, man, just offensive rebounds, just basic stuff, finishing possession. Now, when the team is in this situation and like the other team is shooting threes, the Nuggets for the last couple of games, they're running into some bad luck. When teams shoot threes, the threes were ricocheting out and going towards the Detroit Pistons. And the Detroit Pistons had 12 offensive rebounds. The Nuggets had 12 offensive rebounds. But there was one especially that went to run out in the fourth quarter, and the Pistons were able to score off of it. And just little basic plays like that. And Tobias Harris, man, when the Nuggets were down 2 with 2:04 left, Tobias Harris made just a Kawhi Leonard bounce three that absolutely changed the complexion of the game the rest of the way. The Nuggets got down 5, and then they got back within 3, then back within 4, then down 2, then back within 5. It just kept going back and forth. And that obviously had a big effect on how the rest of the game ended for Denver today. There's just, again, little stuff, man. I am of the mindset, y'all, that if you want to win games, it starts early. In the last 2 games they have played, it hasn't started early. But again, even versus the Clippers, the offense started clunky. It started clunky, and it's just that lineup with Pickett and Spencer Jones or Pickett and Brown. There's no confidence in it right now because Pickett isn't confident. Pickett isn't playing super well. So they just have to make adjustments, man. It's as simple as this. They have to play better. They have to rebound the ball. They have to do the small things. Y'all, they're playing versus the New York Knicks tomorrow. And the Knicks are going to come out, and they're going to play extremely hard at home, especially. They're on the second night of a back-to-back, too, but they're going to play hard. So what are the Nuggets going to do? Are you just going to lay down again and not play any defense? Because then you're going to have the same result as today. Just basic stuff. Duncan Robinson was 6 of 9 from 3. He had a bounce-back game from the game he had versus Denver last week. By the way, Julian Strawther, this is probably his best game of the year. He had 23 minutes played, 15 points, 8 rebounds, and it was him and Peyton Watson that got them back in the game. Do you see the numbers for Murray and Jokic? Cool. It was Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther that got them back in the game today. Julian had 8 rebounds. He was battling on the board all game, the entirety of the game. And then he hit some really, really big shots in this game. He only made one of his threes. He tried to make that last 3 that would have tied the game. But, he played well. It just happened to miss that shot. But I definitely have some, I want to see if this team is able to come out with more energy tomorrow. I think that's going to say a lot. Because right now, they're just not playing with the level of defensive intensity they have, this season and for large stretches of the season. I don't think Jokic's rim protection was good in the first half. It was better in the second half. I think that he got that first foul and started doing the Olay thing. But on the offensive end, what's happening is the Nuggets are kind of being dislodged from their game flow because of the amount of contact they're getting. And then what's happened in the last two games, at least, is that with that contact, they're not getting the free throw responses that they normally would on the interior. Like I said, the perimeter players, Jamal and Peyton, they got to the free throw line a bunch today. But like I said, the big in the middle, who's clearly getting contact, didn't, and that started distorting some things. He really should have had like closer to the number says 19 shot attempts. That should have been down to 16 or 15 because he should have been to the free throw line 4 or 5 more times. But it was just the way that the referees were officiating the game where they just didn't want to give that to him in particular. But like I said, when Jamal and when Peyton Watson started attacking in the second half, that kind of changed the direction of the game, and they started slowing the game down. And they also had to get Detroit out of the running because Detroit was running in transition like crazy. Even Jamal off of it was a made shot on a layup, and it was a run out that led out to a dunk. And I'm just sitting here like, what are you doing? Nobody's getting back. Nobody's getting back on defense. Bruce Brown had 10 points too. He had two rebounds. He was 1 of 3 from 3. Had another 3 that had it gone in would have changed the complexion of the game. But it just happens, man. Sometimes you're going to miss some of those shots, but you got to be able to fall back on something. And I think their defensive intensity hasn't been there. It did in the fourth quarter. It showed up. They held the Pistons to like 33% from the field in the fourth quarter, or rather in the second half. So like their defense was better, but they gave up 69 points in the first half. 69. And then I believe 55 points scored in the second. So it's just little stuff. Play better defense. The Nuggets scored 71 points in the second half versus the Pistons defense. 71. So if they could score, they were getting what they needed to get. But again, on the other end, if you're not doing anything to prevent them from scoring and your rhythm is being disrupted, it's really as simple. So I think Adelman has to be better too, man. Like I have not been impressed with Adelman in the last 2 games. Just really, really, really soft stuff. Like I don't think that the intensity was there from the team in back-to-back games. I don't think that the defensive scheming was good enough. Like on that Tobias Harris 3, they had put Jokic to prevent the Pistons from getting in the pick and roll, because what was happening is because the Nuggets are playing so small, if Jokic goes out in a pick and roll, that means the roll man below, because Peyton's on Cade, and Peyton's the only other 6'7", 6'8", and up player on the floor. So if Peyton's on Cade and Jokic is on Duren, then what happens when Duren rolls to the basket? Now it's Jalen Pickett or Julian Strawther or Christian Brown, and they were getting bodied by Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. So then eventually they make the adjustment, but they actually played really good defense in the second half. No, and by the way, this is just not true. Like this is why y'all have to be honest about stuff. This isn't true. Bruce is a limited player. He's not going to play a lot of minutes in the playoffs. Bruce also 23 minutes. He was better than Christian today, and he made a 3, and he at least looked toward the basket. Christian, my biggest complaint with him this season for Christian is he is not looking at the basket. And I think that is my biggest issue with him. You have to be able to be a threat towards the basket. It's that simple. So the Nuggets went small today because they didn't have their wings. Like they didn't have Cam, Spencer, or Aaron, so they had to go a little small. But this is where Deron Holmes should come in. Like I think he needs to get more minutes here. Zeke Naji was bad to close the second quarter because he got a first quarter rather. He had a foul on him. No, actually it was second quarter. He got a foul on Isaiah Stewart on an offensive rebound opportunity. He fouled Stewart, and then Stewart went to the basket and got 2 free throws that ended up also being different in the game. So it's just real simple, man. You got to play better. You got to play better. You got to do better. You got to do different things. You have to be able to show more intensity. And if you don't, then this is what's going to happen. So it is what it is. Stuff happens. It's going to be a story. Obviously, they got to continue to figure some stuff out, and they got to play better. I got Locked On Nuggets tonight, y'all. So make sure y'all literally Locked On Nuggets in 6 minutes here. I'm going to finish up over here, and then I'll be with y'all a little bit. See y'all soon. Appreciate y'all.